Good afternoon, everybody. It's Mike with smartoptiontrading.com. It is Friday, the 12th of April. This is our weekly recap. If you want to join us, come on over to smartoptiontrading.com. I'll put a link in the description below. Click on Live Trading Alerts, and you can join us in our live trading room on Discord. We use Zoom every day for voice and video, and love to have you. So let's talk about this week and talk about where we're at and what's going on here. And we just put in a new range low, and this is the first time we have touched the 50-day now since back in October, end of October of last year. What's happened here is we talked last week, from last Thursday, we had a clear trend break with this candle from last Thursday. We were never able to reclaim it. In fact, 520.44 area, we were never able to get back above that. That was the place I was looking for. All right, so we've had a lot of little problems here with that. We came down, we went sideways. We had a hot CPI number in here. We sold off, we came back. PPI was better. We pushed up and we gapped down today. We gapped down today after bank earnings and after a bunch of headlines out of Iran and Israel about an imminent attack. So let's talk about that in a second here, but let's talk on the SPY. We're at the 50-day. Your 3% correction is 508.87. We have just missed it. All right, just missed it by about 20 cents, 21 cents or so, right? So we're close enough to say we have a 3% pullback here, if you want to say that. And the next stage, if we don't hold here, we'd watch for a touch of this gap at 503.80, 503.02. And to get momentum back, we have to get back above the 8 and the 21 day to the upside. 8 and 21 day, we're under it. We've lost momentum to risk off environment. Volume today is 71 million shares. We'll probably get close to 100 million, but it's not extreme. And let's talk about these headlines. There's been a lot of headlines here. Bottom line is the market seems to be saying it's not overly concerned about it. And I'm going to tell you why. So first off, crude today had a huge spike, and look at this fall off of it. Massive. It's gone red on the day now. If they were really worried about what was going to happen between Iran and Israel, crude would not be coming off. It would be spiking. Gold, which spiked like mad to a new all-time high, similar, very ugly candle. A lot of the commodities came in. Now the VIX is saying it's not sure. The VIX is off the highs, but still out of the Bollinger Bands. Bonds are rallying on this, a little bit of a flight to safety. But the market's basically saying we don't care. Your defensive names, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, etc., they've all gone red. The market here is saying that we think this is going to be okay, that Iran's going to do something, but they've kind of signaled that they don't want a bigger conflict. They're just going to do retaliatory action that they feel is appropriate and move on. And we could all be done with this and go into next week without this. The other thing that's really kind of bothering the market here, and is probably not getting enough credence today, is earnings from the big banks. JP Morgan reported this morning, and the report on the surface looked great. They guided pretty weak for their interest income next quarter, and that really hit them, and they're down. And this was the strongest of the banks, right? Best in breed. It hit a new all-time high up here, and you have a big gap down. It sliced through the 50-day, and this is kind of an ugly candle, so we'll have to see how that plays out. Citigroup also had some problems. They were up, they had their call, they came down, they're on the lows. The one that held in best was Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo notably said they saw delinquencies increasing up towards 11% range at this point on consumer credit cards and stuff. But, it is what it is. It's holding in better. So the banks got beat up a bit. So let's talk about the rest of this week. The rest of this week was about game on. NVIDIA gave some nice trades here. It looked like it was going to break down on Tuesday. Nice bounce back on Wednesday, showed a lot of strength. The market was weak. Look at the strength in NVIDIA. Yesterday, big move, broke up. And today, not down nearly as much as the market's holding in rather nicely. Amazon finally moved up, got its all-time high back on the 8-day here. Google went up, got an all-time high today, came down, but still holding well above the 8-day. They continue to go for the same names. Tesla tried to go, couldn't, has come back in, but is still holding in relatively well. Meta not this week. It just kind of went sideways, but didn't fall apart. Microsoft 427 continues to be a big problem for it, but is sideways and holding in. What else didn't we talk about here? Taiwan Semi had a monster quarter in terms of a monster month in terms of revenue as they just continue to roll things out. And the market here seems to be kind of finding places to go. If you want to see something that went absolutely hog wild yesterday, that was Apple. Apple's had a great move here. big move up here, broke above the 50-day today. Look at the size of yesterday's candle, follow through today, back down. This is a change in character candle. We talked last week about this was possibly turning into a head and shoulders pattern here, or I'm sorry, not a W pattern here. Tired. And you can see it here. This is looking like it's starting to play out. Looked like it was going to break down on Wednesday. Look at this candle yesterday and follow through today. Apple looks like it's very strong here. So for me, next week we go into earnings. We got more banks on Monday morning. We have a couple semis in ASML and Taiwan Semi. We have Netflix on Thursday night, and then we got some credit card companies in there. We got some shippers in there. We have a little bit of everything next week, and then we start to look towards big tech earnings. So market's going to start focusing on earnings names, and hopefully we have all this Middle East stuff behind us on Monday. I'll get some charts done this weekend. Everybody have a great one. I'll catch you guys hopefully live in the room on Monday morning.